content creation doesn't have to be hard. Will it take time and creative energy? Yes, but it doesn't have to feel difficult or intimidating or scary. My goal is that you feel excited to create content and grow your creator business, and for it to feel fun and easy for you. And it can if you implement the 5 little steps that I'm going to share with you in this video. Especially stick around for number 4 because it is my complete secret weapon to consistency and growth. Let's get into it. My first tip for making content creation feel easy is to make templates. I live and breathe by my templates. My Premiere Pro project template, my YouTube script template, my title and transition templates. Honestly, I think the thought of developing all kinds of templates can be really overwhelming for creators because it can take a lot of time up front and like feel a little complicated, but trust me, every minute you invest in creating time-saving templates will end up saving you hours down the line. Let me walk you through the main templates that I use in my content creation process, and you'll see that these are not overly complicated or difficult to make, but they really simplify my process of making videos. Okay, so first we've got my YouTube script template. I open this up every time I go to plan a new YouTube video because it reminds me of all the essential components of a successful video. It reminds me to plan my thumbnail, to write a brief and succinct opening. I've got space for 4 main talking points and then a good conclusion, which hopefully leads you into my next video. I've also got space there to plan out B-roll shots for each of my segments. It's not an overly complicated template, but the point of it is it reminds me of all these really important parts: a good thumbnail, a good intro, B-roll, a good outro. If you just start with a blank page every time, you may end up forgetting some of those essential components. So that's why I love this template. Okay, then we've got my Premiere Pro project file template. This is basically an almost empty project file, but it has my go-to background music, my B-roll, and some of my typical graphic assets that I use again and again, including my like title font styles and stuff like that. This makes my life so much easier when it comes to editing because I've already got my B-roll library pre-loaded where I'm gonna be editing my video. So if I need to find a shot of me writing in my notebook, I can just literally type in the search of Premiere Pro notebook and it'll bring up all of my B-roll that I've tagged with that. And this brings us to my third kind of template, which is my title and like transition cards that I keep inside this Premiere Pro project file. You probably recognize the ones. There's this paper background with text in front of it. I've got this kind of film flicker effect that I'll throw a title in front of. I've already got these pre-made so that I can just copy and paste them into my new video timeline. I highly recommend making templates like this for yourself too, because not only will it make your content creation process so much faster, but it will also help you with consistency because you'll have that same look and feel to your videos again and again if you're using the same fonts, the same kind of title cards. And as for the YouTube script template, I just think it'll help you make the highest quality video possible every single time. And if you want that template in particular, it's actually included in my content creator starter kit, which has all kinds of Notion templates and Lightroom presets and different assets that will help you with your content creation process, so you can check that link out in the description. My second tip is to make a strategy that's actually fun for you. Now, stay with me here because I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, yeah, sure, Katie, make it fun, whatever. But this is actually a game changer. When you genuinely enjoy something, you're gonna find it so much easier to actually want to do that activity. To grab an example from outside of the content creator world, like let's say you want to exercise more often or get more movement in your day. If you try to force yourself to run, but you don't like running, chances are you're never going to become consistent with it. But if you find something that you do really enjoy, like yoga or bar classes or Zumba, and you really like going to it, then you're gonna do it more often. It's just basic human psychology. We avoid things that we don't enjoy and we more often do things that we do enjoy. So try to find ways that you can make content creation enjoyable for yourself, and it'll become so much easier to be consistent. Okay, so how do you concretely do this? Like, it's easy to say make it fun, but what can you actually do? I feel like it should go without saying that you wanna be creating content about something that you are really passionate about, so make sure that your niche or your subject matter is something that you could just like talk about for hours. But I also think it's about kind of building associations around the process of filming and editing your videos to make it feel fun and special, so that you kind of want to do it. So maybe you go to your favorite coffee shop and you grab that latte that you love when you sit down to script, or maybe when you're about to film, you kind of make your apartment feel really nice and cozy, you light a candle. And another really important piece of this is that you choose types of content that you really enjoy making. So obviously you've probably chosen your niche, what you want to talk about, but how do you talk about that? Think about whether you would more so enjoy recording a podcast, filming YouTube videos, making content for Instagram, recording TikToks. Think about which of those formats feels easier and more fun for you, and then try to lean into that rather than forcing yourself into sitting down and filming long form YouTube videos if what you really love is making reels. Number 3, use automation tools. There are honestly countless automation tools out there on the market right now for content creators, and it can be hard to find the right one for you. And that is exactly where the sponsor of today's video, AppSumo, really comes in handy. AppSumo is a marketplace of up and coming software brands. You get massive discounts on the latest tech, up to 95% off, and you get a lifetime subscription. That's right, software without monthly fees, which is really nice. In the past, AppSumo has paired with brands like Zapier and Crisp as they have initially found their first users, which means AppSumo is the perfect place to find the latest and greatest applications before they go viral and get really expensive. Specifically, I wanted to show you this app called BigView, which is going to be the perfect way to automate your video creation process. You can use their AI script writer to get you started with your script, and of course, you can modify and customize it to make it your own. But you just start by clicking script and then click on the AI writer button, and all you need to do is write a few sentences about what you want to talk about, who your audience is, and what problems you want to solve. And BigView will automatically generate 5 different scripts that you can choose from to go with for your video. At this point, I recommend going in and customizing it and making your own, but this can be a really great starting point if you're feeling a little bit stumped. Another cool feature is that as you write your script, it will keep track of your word count and also the estimated duration, so you know how long your video is going to be. This is especially helpful if you're trying to make short form stuff and you want to keep your reels under 90 seconds. It'll tell you when your script has hit that point. Next, you can turn that script into a teleprompter that you can read off of while you're filming your videos. I get questions all the time about how I memorize the scripts for my videos, and I know a lot of y'all struggle with that. I personally love the method of having my laptop set down next to me and I'll just glance down to see my next line and then keep speaking. But if you feel like you'd be more comfortable with a teleprompter, then BigView is a great solution for that. You can record with their teleprompter app either on your laptop or on your phone, and the script will just scroll by for you and you can read it as you're filming. And anything that you record or edit on your phone or on your laptop will automatically sync between the mobile app and the desktop site. You can also edit inside BigView and add dynamic captions. And when it's ready, you can schedule all your content to Instagram, TikTok, all the major platforms, all inside this app. With AppSumo's Black Friday deal, you can get BigView for just $69 for a lifetime subscription. That deal is only live until Friday, December 1st, so make sure you go check that out. But even if you're seeing this video after that, check out AppSumo for really great deals on up and coming software for lifetime subscriptions. You might just find the perfect app to make your workflow so much easier. And thanks again to AppSumo for sponsoring today's video. Okay, like I said before, tip number 4 is my secret weapon to effortless consistency. And no, it's not having an unlimited source of motivation or inspiration. It's just simply having habits and routines. I swear to you, I would not be consistent on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and with my podcast and with my email newsletter if it weren't for the habits and routines that I've built. To give you a sense of it, this is what my typical week looks like, and I try to repeat the same cycle every single week, and it's what keeps me consistent. Monday is the day when I edit my YouTube videos. On Tuesday, I send that video in to whatever brand I'm working with for it to be reviewed. This is a week ahead of the day that it's going to be published because I post my videos every Tuesday. Speaking of posting, Tuesday is also the day that I send the invoice for the video that was published that day to the brand that I'm working with, and I'll write my Instagram Reels scripts. On Wednesday, I script my next YouTube video. I'll film those Reels that I scripted the previous day, and I will also record my podcast. Thursday is the day for editing all of my Reels and TikToks. I post the same ones across both platforms. I'll edit them all at once and batch schedule them. And Thursday is also a day for admin work. Finally, on Friday is when I film my YouTube videos. I personally find that this level of structure is super helpful for me when it comes to creating consistently. I feel like I simply couldn't just wait around to be inspired or to feel like creating, because then I might just never create. I know what I need to do on a certain day and then I do it. I also personally find it wild that there's some full-time content creators that just like wake up and think to themselves, okay, what am I gonna make today? Girl, I can't live like that. I've planned out my content like 3 months in advance and I know what day I'm gonna do what. Everybody needs a different level of structure, and I get that, but I just personally really think that when you make these things into habits, it becomes way more effortless because you don't have to decide to create your next YouTube video. You just know it's Wednesday, I'm gonna script that video, and then you know that it gets done. It doesn't have to be the same workflow as mine. In fact, it probably shouldn't be. You gotta figure out what's gonna work in your own life with the other stuff you have going on, but create some kind of weekly workflow and it'll feel so much less difficult to actually create the content you want to create because you kind of remove that factor of decision fatigue. And I really feel like with these habits, it's just like going to the gym or learning a language. The more often you do it, the easier it'll become because it just becomes a part of your routine. It feels second nature. Just like you don't have to motivate yourself to brush your teeth every day, you just do it because it's part of your routine. At some point, creating your content will become like that. My final tip for you is a huge one, and I think it's becoming a more significant way that content creators strategize and grow across platforms, and that is developing your signature format. You may have noticed that a lot of big content creators these days have some kind of show, whether that's on their YouTube channel or a podcast or whatever it might be. People have some kind of show that they're known for. I'm thinking of examples like Gio's Spooky Lake Month, Brittany Broski's Royal Court or Broski Report, or Amelia de Moldenberg's Chicken Shop Date, which I'm obsessed with. These are all well-known creators that have a specific show that kind of reinforces their brand and makes them even more memorable. Like a lot of us know Amelia de Moldenberg from Chicken Shop Date. They both kind of reinforce each other and it almost gives you a little bit more credibility or legitimacy to say like, yeah, my show, like I have this show that I create, rather than just being like a vlog or something. I'll be honest, this is something that I don't necessarily have right now. Like I have my podcast, but it's very specifically a podcast, though that may be changing at some point, stay tuned. And I've experimented with coffee chats with Katie on this channel as like a little recurring bit, but I'll be honest, I don't think the coffee chats branding is that strong. It's a little bit generic and not super connected to what I'm doing, but you know, it's fun, it's casual, it's mostly for, you know, the homies, y'all that watch my channel all the time. But I think that having a show or a recurring format can actually be really, really helpful, not only for your brand recognition as a creator, but also for the consistency factor. The way I think about content creation, there's really two main factors to any piece of content that you post online. You've got the subject matter or the actual substance, and then you've got the format. So with this piece of media you're currently consuming, we have the subject matter, which is 5 ways to make content creation easier for you. But then we've got the format, which is YouTube video / just like talking head video. There's so many other formats I could put this into, right? Whether it be a reel or a TikTok or even different YouTube formats like a vlog or a video essay where it's just all motion graphics and you don't see me at all. Lots of different formats, right? And when you are creating your content, you kind of have these big decisions to make around what's the subject matter going to be and what's the format going to be. The benefit of having a show or a format that you're known for is that, again, it helps with that decision fatigue factor. It takes the format out of the question and all you have to figure out is the subject matter. What this makes me think of is like back in the day at school, if a teacher would give you a really wide open assignment, like just write an essay about whatever you want. It's like almost like it stops you in your tracks because you don't know how long should it be? What should I write it about? What style should it be in? It leaves you with all these questions. It almost makes it harder to brainstorm. But when the teacher would say like, write me an essay about the representation of women in English literature in the 18th century, then you're like, okay, I know where I'm starting with this. I've got like something to go off of. And I feel like creating a show for yourself as a creator is the same thing. You give yourself that format and you say, okay, I'm gonna do a 30-minute podcast, or I'm gonna do a 5-minute funny interview show. Whatever that format is, you tell yourself what it is, and then you can fill in the subject matter from there, but you're not like starting with a totally blank page. It takes you from going from, okay, make whatever you want, to, okay, Katie, make another episode of the Coffee Chat series. It just gives you a starting point and it makes your content creation process easier. And it has all those benefits of brand recognition, consistency with your audience, and giving you that extra level of credibility as a creator. The thing about running a successful content creation business is creating content is only one half of the equation. In addition to making great content and building a strong community, you also need to have a sense of your business model and some form of financial planning. I know that's something that's not often talked about in social media tips videos like these. So I made an entire video talking you through the steps that you need to take if you want to become a full-time content creator this year, what you need to do financially to prepare yourself for it. And I know a lot of people don't discuss this, and it's really, really important. So make sure you go check out that video next. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll catch you over in this video. Okay, bye.